It's your boy Dgotsauce back with another live stream, man. This is episode number 11, the 4th of May. And shout outs to y'all, man. Shout outs to y'all for supporting me. Shout outs to y'all for tuning in, giving y'all opinions, giving y'all thoughts. And I want to say this before we get into this stream, man. I'm extremely blessed, bro. I'm extremely blessed. It's been was getting in the way. It's been a extremely busy week for me. I've been going through some things that I just have to deal with. But life is still good. We still blessed. Just making sure that we are good. All right, cool. I did a couple of things this weekend that was so much fun. I went and saw the Michael Jackson movie. I thought that was a extremely good movie, man. I appreciated it. I really did enjoy every moment of that movie. I did wish that there was a little bit more to it, just because I felt like they just covered certain aspects of his life. It was just more about the Jackson Five, or the Jackson family in general, which was fine, honestly. I thought it was going to be more of a movie just about him, but it was about his family and him growing up, his career growing up, and it was a really dope movie altogether. Honestly, it felt like we got to relive his entire life going up until he went solo and split up from his family. So I appreciated that movie. I really did, and I think that part 2 is going to be even better. I think it's going to be amazing. And I'm really looking forward to seeing what they come up with for part 2. But yeah, besides that, my weekend was phenomenal. We blessed to see another day. We blessed to continue on with life. And I hope that you guys are really doing phenomenal as well, man. We got one life, bro. We got one life. And we got to make the best of it every single day we get the chance to. Make sure y'all hit that like button for your boy, by the way, man. Say what up in the chat, too. But we got one life, and we got to make the best of this situation. We got to make the best of this life every single day. Whether we having good days, whether we having bad days, whether somebody just died, whether somebody just left you, you got to still get up and make the best of this situation, of this life. And that's what I want to say to y'all today, man. You guys can do it. We can do it. All of us together. We live this life. We go through our ups and downs, but we still get up every single day and we fight because, it's easy to give up. It's easy. It's so easy to say, you know what? I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to be here anymore. What is life about? Why are we doing this? Why are we here? It's easy. That's the easy route. But the hardest route and the most fruitful route is when you know things are bad and when you know things are not going as well as you want it to be, but you still put your chin up and you still stand up strong and you still walk forward and move forward with life because, we blessed, man. We blessed. And you will get blessed at the end of the day when you have that type of mindset and that type of just being. You know what I mean? Like people don't have it as good as you. No matter how bad you might have your situation, or no matter how bad your situation might look to others, there are some people that are even in a worse position than you. So don't give up. Don't give up, man. That's my little message for the day, man. Don't give up. Don't give up, man. They hurt our people. We hurt their people. I get you. I get you. I'm guessing y'all are talking about. You're talking about the war. I'm guessing you're talking about the war. We gonna get into it. We are definitely going to get into it. We got some stuff to talk about today. Let me know in the comments, in the chat, and in the poll how y'all feel about these gas prices. Gas prices have been soaring since this war started. If we being honest with you, it's hurting a lot of people's pockets. It's making a lot of people not want to even drive their car. They're finding other alternatives like taking the bus, taking the train, riding bikes to work. They doing all types of stuff just to avoid paying $4 and some odd change in gas prices, which it's tough. It's really tough out here for a lot of people, man. I'm not gonna sit here and say like I can't afford it because I'm in a good position. I'm blessed, thank God. You know what I'm saying? But for some people, they are actually struggling. They are actually hurting, and they can't afford. They're living paycheck to paycheck. They're they can't put food in their fridges because the gas prices and the prices of food and everything just seems to be skyrocketing. And this is the thing that hurts the most in some ways. And I don't want to say it hurts, but it's like you ran on promises of lowering prices. The president, and I don't think he's doing the worst job ever, but I think right now he's in a tough place. Because he ran on a certain thing. He ran on lowering everything, lowering prices, lowering gas, lowering this, lowering that. But what is really happening and what is really affecting the people right now is this war. He said he's not going to do any wars. He said he's going to be the peacemaker. But this war has definitely, it tainted, in a way, the good that he's been doing. If we're just being honest, let me know how y'all feel about it. But if we're just being honest, it's tainted in a way how we look at the successful part of his administration. That it doesn't really feel like it's as successful because people are just hurting so much when it comes to, the economy. And I believe that he still has a chance to make things better. Obviously, I still believe that, he can turn things around. It's just not looking like this right now. But anyways, I appreciate y'all for tuning in. I really do. We're going to get into the show. We're going to get into the first video. And please let me know y'all thoughts as we go forward and as we get into this episode here. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Make sure you guys subscribe if y'all are new. This is Dgotsauce, episode number 11. Let's get into it, man. Gas prices. Here we go.
It's a reality Americans can't ignore.
The more you think about it, the more it hurts, man. So I just fill up and just get out of there.
Cheap gas is now a thing of the past.
It's pretty painful. It's pretty painful, but you got to do what you got to do.
Prices at the pump rising across the country as the war with Iran continues to impact the critical Strait of Hormuz, a key shipping lane where roughly 1/5 of the world's oil supply flows through every single day, or at least did. The strait now effectively closed, with just a handful of ships making it through as talks to reopen the waterway stall. The White House offering little relief, with President Trump vowing that gas prices will go down, but only once the war is over. And there's no clear timeline. Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth clashing with lawmakers this week about the impact.
Do you know how much it will cost Americans in terms of their increased cost in gas and food over the next year?
Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the likes.
I would simply ask you what the cost is of an Iranian nuclear bomb.
Experts say the longer this drags on, the higher gas prices will go.
And as we get into things like Mother's Day and closer to Memorial Day, we could see oil prices pushing gas prices higher. In fact, it's not out of the potentials that we could see new all-time records set for gasoline.
But it's not just prices at the pump. Airline fares are rising as jet fuel gets more expensive. Costs are climbing for petroleum-based products, including plastics used in everything from packaging to basic goods, and fertilizer, essential for farmers, getting squeezed by the disruptions in the Strait, threatening to push food prices higher later this summer. And this all comes at a time when consumers are already feeling stretched. So any further spikes in the energy market, that could continue to ripple across the entire economy. And guys, experts tell me that the only relief that we're going to have is when the Strait of Hormuz is reopened. But of course, that's a big if. And even once that happens, it's going to take 1 to 2 months for those supplies and for those ships to get back to their regular routes. So for all of us summer travelers out there, much more pain ahead.
Yeah, hitting those summer road trips so hard. Thanks so much, Allie.
Of course.
Allie, thank you.
Hey, thanks for.
Listen here, man. It's just the truth. All right, it's just the truth. We do not want these gas prices to be up high. We don't want to see gas prices at $4, $5. Just a few months ago, I'll be honest with you. I have I call it old reliable. I got an old reliable car, a Toyota Corolla. Can never go wrong with Toyota. You know what I mean? I was paying $20 to fill my tank just about three months ago. As of yesterday, I go to the gas station to fill up my tank. It cost me $50. That's an 100 and almost 10% spike from where we used to be at the low. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And if we're just being honest, it's not a good look. It's really not a good look. But let's see where Fox News believes that the gas prices could actually go by next week. They're thinking that the national average is going to go past $5. Let's look into it.
Hovering around $102, $103 a barrel. That's pushing gas prices up. Okay, we got
Let me know your thoughts, man. Let me know your thoughts. Hit that vote.
This
Make sure y'all vote. Make sure y'all let me know your thoughts, man.
There is a possibility of $5. If you take a look at gas prices this week, they're up 34 cents on the week. The national average, as you noted, $4.39 today. And with this standoff at the Strait of Hormuz, where 1/5 of global oil flows, some analysts do see $5 gas this month.
By the time
It's
we
ridiculous.
get to Memorial Day, we'll hit
It's
$5 a
ridiculous.
gallon of gasoline. And if the
Honestly.
conflict continues through the remainder of the summer,
Majority
and
of
we
y'all
still don't
saying
have
y'all are
resupply
not happy
from
with the
the
gas
Middle East Gulf,
prices.
then we'll
I
continue
get
to
it,
see
man.
prices continue to rise through the summer.
That prediction assumes a stalemate and that demand isn't hurt by high prices. We are exporting
I
so much
absolutely
oil. That is the other
understand.
thing. The Energy Department tells us
$5
this
for
spike is
gas?
temporary.
We not
Gas
even in
prices
California.
will go down as soon as the conflict is over, thanks to President Trump's energy dominance agenda. American oil production and exports are at record highs. Chevron just reporting a 24% increase in U.S. production.
The U.S. is not only the biggest producer of oil and gas now, but it's also the biggest exporter of oil and gas. We're seeing dozens of large crude-carrying vessels show up at the Gulf of America to load and take supplies in large amounts to Asia.
Well, you see, it's so good that we have that, for the future. It's so good that it's in our arsenal that we're producing the most oil and gas. But even though we're producing the most oil and gas, we are not seeing the results of that, or we're not feeling the results of that in our pockets when we're paying for it. I mean, when 2 months ago, 3 months ago, yeah, y'all had it. We got it. $2, almost under $3 a gallon. Beautiful. Everybody, nothing to complain about. Nobody was worrying. Nobody's stressing. But now we're seeing it get to $4.50, $5.50 all across the United States, even in the poorest parts. People are not happy with it. People are struggling. People are, luckily, some of us are blessed enough to not, it's not affecting us as bad as it could. But there are some people who literally cannot turn on their car anymore. They can't drive their car no more. They can't afford their gas. They're working at McDonald's, living paycheck to paycheck, trying to find a way. And they just looking at the gas prices like, I can't even take my car out to go to work. I got to walk to work. I got to take the bike to work. It's sad. It's really sad. It's really sad. And we want this thing to be fixed immediately, man. I don't care how many times, how many people, how many lives are being lost. I need this war to stop. We need this war to stop, and we need these prices to decrease. To decrease. I feel like once that happens, a lot of people won't have more stuff to complain about when it comes to Donald Trump as well. But let's continue.
This is a look at the Congo line of empty tankers, to quote Pete Hegseth.
I see y'all votes, man. Y'all ain't happy with these gas prices.
The big ones,
Nobody
headed
is,
west
man.
to the U.S. to
80%
fill
to
up with
20%.
American oil. ExxonMobil also reported this morning it is more exposed to the Middle East and said a Strait of Hormuz closure for an entire quarter could cut production there by about 750,000 barrels of oil equivalent per day.
I like all those big tankers on the way to Florida.
Nobody wants to pay $5 for
Business
gas.
for the U.S., but our
$5.50
exports are already at a record high, so we need more production right now.
I'm sure we'll get it.
Especially if y'all are in a low-income area already. It's already tough out there for people. So let me know y'all thoughts about this down in the comments below. I'd really like to know y'all thoughts. Man, keep them likes coming in and keep them votes coming in as well, man. Thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate y'all for real. We got to do something about it, man. We got to do something about it. The world has to do something about this. All right? We understand we were dealing with Russia and Ukraine. That's one war. Now we're dealing with this war. And you know, it just feels like it's an endless battle. It's an endless conversation. It's an endless killing. Like, why do we have to put ourselves in these positions when things were just running so smoothly, man? But let me know y'all thoughts, man. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Say what up in the chat, man, as we get into the next conversation. Let me know y'all thoughts. Let me know where y'all from. Make sure y'all hit that poll. We're going to talk about this next convo. And it's about the yellow and black airlines that you dare not to ride unless you are balling on a budget. We talking about Spirit Airlines, ladies and gentlemen. They have officially shut down. Now, before we get into the video, let me tell you about a quick story. Right? Let me tell you about a quick story. I rode Spirit Airlines one time. I got to be honest with you. It was the scariest plane ride I've ever experienced. But I did survive. All right? This was with my younger years when I didn't have as much money as I had now. I didn't have as much or as I have now. You know, I had to ball on a budget. We've all been there. We've all been there, I would hope, or I would think. Maybe some of y'all are blessed. Y'all ain't got to worry about none of this stuff. But some of us have been here. Some of us have experienced Spirit Airlines. Now I'm a JetBlue type of person or a Delta Airlines, but Spirit Airlines, when you're in a pinch and you just need to get somewhere real quick, and you can't recline your chairs, and you don't want to watch TV, or you can't watch TV because they don't got none. Spirit Airlines would get you to where you want to be. But it looks like Spirit Airlines has met its match, and they are officially closed for business. There will never be another Spirit Airlines flight. And this is breaking news, man. Let's tune into the video, see what's going on out here in these streets.
Spirit Airlines is going out of business. The airline said early this morning that it has begun shutting
down operations. Hit that like button for your boy, man. Thank you guys for tuning in.
All upcoming flights. This is what customers see when they go to the Spirit website. The discount carrier says customer service is no longer available. It's also advising passengers not to come to the airport and to rebook their travel on different airlines. 17,000 workers are now out of a job. Passengers, they're
That's a lot of
scrambling to
people.
make other travel arrangements. The final Spirit flight touched down at Dallas-Fort Worth International just after midnight. Air traffic controllers and other airline pilots, they were heard wishing the Spirit pilots well as they made their final descent.
It's a lot of people going, man. A lot of jobs.
Sorry to hear what happened. Is there any other Spirit flights coming in after? You might be the last one. Well, it was a pleasure working with you guys, and I wish you the best. Thank you very much.
Well, the soaring jet fuel costs, which have nearly doubled since the start of the war with Iran, well, they derailed Spirit's plans to emerge from its second bankruptcy. Spirit and the Trump administration also failed to come to a last-minute bailout deal before the airline, on Friday. CNN's Gloria Pazmino is live at LaGuardia Airport, one of the Spirit hubs. Did people take the warning? And
they're saying that this is because of the gas prices, but it's not because of the gas prices. Spirit Airlines was on its way out for a while now. Like they were heading downhill by the time they opened business, if you get what I'm saying. They were in the debt. They were in debt, a lot of debt. They were they're just the Spirit Airlines aura is not something you want to go on. Like literally, if you have a family, you don't want to be riding in Spirit. You want to be riding comfortable. You don't want to be riding in Spirit. And honestly, if we're just being honest, Frontier is probably next, because that was like the competitor for Spirit. That's like the neck and neck. They like the same airlines. So it's really just a matter of their balance and their budgets were off. They were losing so much money, and the gas prices probably just did not help. The oil prices and gas prices going up did not help their case, and they couldn't make a deal with the president. They couldn't make a deal with anybody, and now they're losing everything. Over 17,000 people out of a
not
job.
show up? What are you seeing?
Double tap that screen for your boy, man, if y'all enjoying the show.
Well, Victor, hopefully if you're one of
let
the
me
more
know
than
y'all
1
thoughts down in
million
the comments.
passengers whose flights are now canceled, you know that you should be checking your email, checking your airline app, and not coming to the airport. But despite that, we have run into at least 2 people in the past hour who came in here thinking that they were going to be able to fly out. They told me that they simply had not checked their email. They did not realize that their flights had been canceled. This is Terminal A in LaGuardia Airport. It's a small terminal, but it is the Spirit Airlines hub at this airport. And I want to show you what it looks like now.
Let me know which airlines y'all think is next.
Here, it tells you all of these flights that were scheduled for today to arrive here have been canceled. Now, the terminal right now is pretty empty, and if you walk up to one of these check-in monitors, check-in booths where you would have checked in if you were flying today, it tells you what's going on. We regret to inform you, Spirit Airlines has ceased global operations, and perhaps most frustratingly, it says customer service is no longer available. That's what passengers are going to have to be dealing with today and in the next few days as they try to rebook themselves on different airlines. Some of the people I spoke to just a minute ago told me that not only they did not realize that their flights were being canceled, they're not sure what they're going to do next. Now, if you would have come into this airport for a flight that was scheduled today, you would have walked right here to this departure gate, and I just want to show you what it looks like, that it is completely shut down. There's no access, and then there are these flyers everywhere just notifying people about the shutdown, telling them that essentially they're not going to be going anywhere today, telling them about the airline shutdown and directing them to other airlines. Now, let's talk about what's happened in the last few hours since we heard from Spirit Airlines announcing that they were ceasing operation. It happened in the early hours of the morning after, like you said, they failed to get that $500 million bailout from the federal government. In many ways, Spirit Airlines made history in the airline industry for the past 34 years. They were considered sort of a maverick of the industry, right? They sold cheap tickets, but they charged you for almost everything else: water, printing your boarding pass, bringing on your bag. That was the model, and it was successful. At one point, Spirit Airlines was actually one of the fastest growing airlines in the United States, but that all started to change, especially after the other major airlines began to compete with them and provide some of those same options, including cheaper tickets. Now, as you said in the beginning, Victor, the last sort of nail on the coffin for Spirit Airlines in the past few months was, of course, the surging price of fuel. That was what made it so difficult for them to stay afloat. And as we heard from Spirit Airlines overnight, they're now ceasing their operation after 34 years in the industry. More than 17,000 people expected to lose their jobs, and millions of passengers are likely to be stranded in the next few days. Victor?
Gloria Pazmino there at LaGuardia. A lot of people trying to get home.
Spirit was clutch. Spirit was clutch, especially if you like a college student and you ain't got much money. You know what I'm saying? Like you just trying to go, you trying to go to Florida, you trying to go to California. Spirit was clutch. All right? Spirit was clutch. You just needed to carry on. You ain't going for long. You're not trying to be too comfortable. You don't mind sitting in a hard stool. Spirit was clutch. But they got him out of here, Coach.
Thanks so much. If you've booked a flight on Spirit, what do? All right, I spoke with aviation reporter for The Points Guy last hour, and here's what he suggested to get a refund.
This morning, Spirit has put out a notice on its website and said that it will be automatically processing refunds for canceled flights. Of course, though, it's kind of a dicey situation because you're talking about an airline that had major cash flow issues, obviously at the heart of what has happened here overnight. So, if you don't get a refund from Spirit, if you don't have any luck, we are suggesting right now that if you pay with a credit card, go ahead and request a chargeback with that credit card. Basically tell your credit card company that that you didn't receive the thing that you paid for, that thing being a flight, of course. And there are some federal protections in place to ensure you get that money back from your credit card company.
In the short term, other airlines, talking to Allegiant, United, Frontier, they've offered special fares for passengers left stranded. With me now is aviation reporter for The Points Guy, Sean Cudahy. Sean,
let me know if y'all ever rode in Spirit Airlines.
What happens to those
if y'all
thousands of passengers who are
bus? Let me know.
Waiting for a flight to get back home?
Yeah, they're kind of out of luck this morning, unfortunately. Now, the good news is that some of the other U.S. airlines have said that they will cap fares, in some case doing discounted fares on routes where they go head-to-head with Spirit, or I guess where they did go head-to-head with Spirit. So, there's going to be an opportunity to rebook and not pay those exorbitant last-minute, ticket prices. But, make no mistake, this is not good news across the industry for consumers.
Yeah, certainly they won't have to pay those walk-up fares, which are probably much higher than anything they would have found online. What about the flight attendants and the pilots who are not back in their home cities?
Yeah, other airlines, a number of other airlines have said that they will basically extend the privileges that they give to their employees to kind of move them around the country, around the world. They will extend those to Spirit employees. So if you've got flight attendants, pilots that are in the wrong city, and certainly there's a lot of them at this hour with the airline kind of abruptly shutting down overnight, they're going to open up jump seats on their planes to try to get them back to the right cities. After the shutdown, just a few hours ago.
Man, double tap
Obviously,
that
this doesn't come out of nowhere, right? There was a talk a week ago about a potential bailout. This is the second bankruptcy for Spirit Airlines. What will be the implications for the rest of the industry and the flying public? And are we already seeing any of that?
Yeah, I think that the big concern is when it comes to airfare. Even if you're someone who never flew Spirit, never stepped on one of its yellow planes, you benefited from Spirit because these ultra low cost carriers, they tend to put pressure on the big airlines to keep fares in check. We still have a couple of low cost airlines, Frontier Airlines kind of most notably, but
they're next.
The industry on that sector of the industry is definitely smaller, and at a time when fuel prices are already putting huge upward pressure on airfare. We've seen, 15, 20% spikes in airfare this summer. I think there's a lot of concern, especially in markets where Spirit had a significant presence, that consumers could be dealing with higher ticket prices, kind of long term.
And so for people who are not waiting for a flight but had a flight booked, do they get their money back?
Spirit says that they will. So this morning, Spirit has put out a notice on its website and said that it will be automatically processing refunds for canceled flights. Of course, though, it's kind of a dicey situation because you're talking about an airline that, had major cash flow issues, obviously at the heart of what has happened here overnight. So, if you don't get a refund from Spirit, if you don't have any luck, we are suggesting right now that if you pay with a credit card, go ahead and request a chargeback with that credit card. Basically, tell your credit card company that that you didn't receive the thing that you paid for, that thing being a flight, of course. And there are some federal protections in place to ensure you get that money back from your credit card company. I think that's sort of the best bet at this point. A lot of travel insurance plans likely not going to cover insolvency cancellations from an airline. So, there are protections for consumers, but not as many as there normally would be if your flight was canceled because of.
Somebody had asked if the pilots are going to get a severance pay, and I doubt it, man. I doubt they're going to get one because they're bankrupt. They're closing. They ain't got no money. So how they gonna pay the pilots for the rest of the year? How they gonna pay their employees for 6 months if they ain't got no money already? There's no way. 17,000 people would be looking for a paycheck for the next couple of months at least. And they already in debt. They already bankrupt. They already don't got money. So there's no way a pilot's getting paid. There's no way an air hostess is getting paid. It's tough. It's tough, man. Hopefully these people can find a new job somewhere, but it's going to be hard for them, man.
Or something like that.
14,000 Spirit employees. The rest are contractors of the 17,000. Are the shortages across the industry significant enough where they can absorb some of these flight attendants, some of these?
Eric said this wouldn't happen. The Democrats were voted for the merger in 1972 of Spirit and JetBlue. They didn't want. JetBlue and tried to buy Spirit. They did, but JetBlue's also underwater too.
JetBlue's also underwater. Are these people gonna have to look for jobs?
They got money. You think, Joey? They got money?
Yeah, I think that kind of remains to be seen.
I don't know if they got
we
that
have
much
seen a number
money,
of
man.
airlines slow hiring this year because of the
know.
high jet fuel costs that they're dealing with. It kind of depends on what
they probably got enough money for themselves,
what role
but
we're
I don't
talking
know
about.
if they got enough
Certainly
money
there
to
is a
pay
major need across the industry
rest of
for
the
more
staff.
aircraft mechanics, highly specialized roles. I'm sure that those there will be opportunities for those workers. I think it's a big industry, and I think that there will be opportunities. We've heard some airlines say that they're going to give kind of preferential interviews to Spirit candidates that were affected by this. But I do think that we are dealing with unfortunately a very difficult situation for these employees, out of really no fault of their own that they've come into this situation.
Take a listen to some of the frustrated passengers.
Let me know y'all thoughts about this down in the comments below, man. Spirit Airlines is officially done, officially closed. Who saw it coming? A lot of people. If we just being honest, a lot of people. Prices of everything has gone up, and there was just no way of them being able to sustain, what they were doing. They had a good run though. They did have a good run. And like I said, man, if you really needed to get somewhere for the low, and you wasn't staying a long time, Spirit Airlines, Frontier Airlines, you can't go wrong with them, man. You really can't. It just sucks now because a lot of people are out of jobs, and there's already a lot of people losing jobs all over the country, man. And 17,000 people are going to be filing for unemployment now, and that's just more government funding. That's more taxpayer dollars that have to support the people. And those people at least were paying their taxes, so they deserve whatever they're getting. But it's gonna be tough, man. They're gonna have to find out. They're gonna have to find a job. They're gonna have to find ways of making more money, and it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard for them. But we wishing them the best. I hope that everybody ends up finding something. If not, they're in a good position already to retire or whatever the case may be. But yeah, that sucks, man. You don't go unless there's a reason when you're at that level. I mean, I feel like that's the reason. They just had no money. They filed for bankruptcy once, got paid out, and then they filed for bankruptcy again. And it's clear like they're not making that much money. If they are making money, it's not that much. It might be a lot to them because, we're talking millions, but in the business or airlines world, a lot of people are saying the airlines is just not, they're not profitable, any of them. But thanks for letting me know your thoughts, man. I appreciate y'all, man, down in the comments below. Make sure y'all hit that like button for your boy. If y'all are enjoying the show, and if y'all are new, make sure y'all hit that subscribe button too, man. We're going to get into the next subject, and this has to do with the latest news on the Iran war. Trump has something to say. Let's tune into the video, see what's going on out here in these streets. It looks like you guys are still voting in the chat too. 85% of y'all are not happy with these gas prices. Makes sense.
But we begin this morning in the Middle East, where the United States has kicked off an effort to guide ships out of the Strait of Hormuz.
The
President
government
Trump
does
says
keep
the
them
US
alive
will
with these
only help vessels
bailouts.
from countries that are not involved in the war with
But
Iran.
they did not want to this
Called the
time
move
around.
a humanitarian gesture and warned Tehran not to interfere. Iran's military says U.S. forces will be attacked if they enter the Strait. Over the weekend, the president was asked whether he might restart military strikes on Iran.
If they misbehave, if they do something bad, but right now, we'll see. But it's a possibility that could happen, certainly.
CBS News White House reporter Aaron Navarro joins us now to talk about this.
More
so,
bombing.
Aaron, my understanding from the reporting is that although the United States is planning on guiding ships out of the Strait, they won't be using the U.S. military, in other words, the Navy. Do I understand that correctly?
I believe the indication that we've gotten, the information we've gotten from CENTCOM, is that it will include U.S. guided missile destroyers, over 100 land and sea-based aircraft, multi-domain unmanned platforms, and 15,000 service members. I'll note maybe they didn't distinguish between U.S. and Israeli forces there, but it is a U.S.-led operation and comes at a moment where there are at least 2,000 ships that have been stranded in the Strait of Hormuz, with about 20,000 working personnel that have been there pretty much since the beginning of this operation, this war with Iran. The president, in a long post over the weekend, said that they are doing this to free up countries, quote, that have done nothing wrong. He called them victims
Have to tighten
of
up. We will
circumstance
overcome,
and
says
said it's for
Joey.
the good of Iran and the Middle East. He later noted that this is to help those ships that may be running low on food and may be reaching unsanitary conditions. But as you mentioned, this did not seem to get any type of green light from Iran, as they have warned that U.S. forces would be attacked if they enter the Strait of Hormuz. We saw earlier this morning, Washington time, Iranian sources
I didn't know that there was actual ships stuck in the water with people on them for months. Like, they ain't running out of food. They ain't running out of water. They don't want to see their family. That sucks. That really does suck, honestly.
that they launched 2 strikes on a U.S. naval vessel, though U.S. CENTCOM denies that that was the case.
Also want to ask about the impact of what's happening here. You know, gas prices, Aaron, they're up 50% since the war began. How is the Trump administration addressing this?
The average right now is
Keep voting in the chat, man.
$4.45
Let me know your
a
thoughts.
gallon. And the administration has struggled to answer that question throughout this operation, but they have been pointing to several things. Domestic energy production
See,
is one of them.
just a
They
couple
mentioned how
months
they have
ago, we
tapped
was under $3.
into the Strategic Petroleum Reserve oil. That
Beautiful. Beautiful prices right there. $2.98. $2.98. Like, bruh. And it's almost $4.50 now. This is just nationwide. Like, this is wild. It's out of control. It's out of control. All right. And I hope that y'all can afford this gas. I hope that y'all are in a good position. I hope that, we can thrive, all of us. But man, I know some of y'all is struggling out there to pay this.
In the U.S.
I know
domestically, though, that will take time. And note how they have waived the Jones Act, which requires that goods shipped between U.S. ports are on U.S.-built vessels. They say that frees up the amount of ships that can transport oil. And the White House claims that it has allowed 9 million more barrels of oil to reach domestic ports in the U.S. White House National Economic Council Chair Kevin Hassett was on Face the Nation yesterday and said that they are, quote, taking an all-of-the-above approach to address this short-term pain. Take a listen to what he said on Sunday.
The fact is that what the president is seeing is that the blockade is working. It's putting an enormous amount of pressure on Iran. If people look at their gas bills, of course, they're higher, and we're doing everything we can to make the temporary increase as small as possible.
Let me tell y'all a story, man, I heard over the weekend, man. Funny story, man. All right, just a quick. Sometimes I go on a little rant. Forgive me. If y'all don't want to see it, just walk away. But a quick story. There's a man at a gas station pumping his gas, thinking nobody's going to bother him, doing his thing. Guys come up in a SUV, ski mask, guns drawn. You know what I'm saying? Guns drawn. Said, put your hands up. Put your hands up. Guy puts his hands up. Oh, my God, don't shoot, please. I ain't got nothing. Take everything. Take everything. You know what they went for? They didn't go for his wallet. They didn't go for his car. They did not go for his sneakers. They went for the gas pump. They went for the gas pump. And they put the gas that he was putting in his car, they put it in their car. Ridiculous, man. Ridiculous. Let's continue.
Lumped in other short-term economic help from the administration, such as the increase in tax returns, and claiming the wage increase that the U.S. is seeing as a result of the president's
people robbing
policies,
people for gas now. That's how bad it is out here in these
streets. The president and his
streets.
Party politically.
They don't even want the money. They want the gas.
Of his job in a new
like
Washington
liquid gold
Post
out there.
ABC News poll from this past weekend, and that is his lowest, his highest rather, disapproval rating in that poll in his second term.
All right, Aaron Navarro reporting for us from the White House. Thank
So
you, Aaron.
put your hands up. Put your hands
and
up.
for more on this developing story, we're joined now by senior foreign
Take everything. I got
correspondent Holly
nothing, man.
Williams.
Take
So,
everything.
Holly, bring us up to
I just
speed.
want
What's
the
happening
gas.
on the ground inside the Strait of Hormuz right now?
Good morning, Chanel and Vlad. Well, President Trump announced this new initiative to guide stranded ships out of the Strait of Hormuz on Sunday.
Gotta fix these gas prices, man.
This morning,
It's out of control, man. Nobody's happy. 84% of y'all,
an initiative
51
called Project
votes.
Freedom. In a social media
Not
post,
happy.
President Trump said that it was a humanitarian gesture and said that many of the ships that are stranded are actually running short of food. But the plan is clearly also a challenge to Iran's control over the Strait of Hormuz, and for that reason, potentially perilous. Iran's powerful Revolutionary Guards responded with a statement saying, quote, "We warn that any foreign armed forces, especially the aggressive U.S. military that intends to approach or enter the Strait of Hormuz, will be targeted." Now, just a reminder of the background to all of this. The U.S. initiated the war with Iran back in February, and before the ceasefire began, was clearly militarily dominant. But by paralyzing traffic through the Strait of Hormuz, a narrow waterway that normally carries around 20% of the world's oil, the Iranians have gained an immensely powerful bargaining chip and put a lot of pressure on President Trump to end the war. We are all obviously feeling the impact with gas prices, and it's also disrupted the global supply of fertilizer. We heard from the boss of one of the world's biggest fertilizer companies just last week. He said that it will impact food supply and could cost billions of meals a week globally, with the world's poorest most at risk.
So, Holly, as far as the state of negotiations, the U.S. and Iran are still trading proposals back and forth. Has there been any real movement?
So the Iranian state media.
Some people are happy with the gas prices.
Points, in a 14-point peace plan put forward by Iran late last week. It apparently calls for the lifting of sanctions on Iran, ending the U.S. naval blockade on Iranian ports, and ending all hostilities, including Israel's activities in Lebanon. Iranian state media also reported that there had been a U.S. response and that Iran's leaders were reviewing it. But an Israeli media outlet is reporting that President Trump told them the plan is not acceptable. I think the feeling in many parts of the Middle East is of profound uncertainty. There's obviously a ceasefire in place, no more airstrikes landing in Iran, no more air raid sirens sounding here in Israel. But there is a fear that if an agreement isn't reached between the two sides, the ceasefire could break down and the whole thing could start all over again. And the two sides at this point seem very far apart.
Okay, Holly Williams, thank you.
Y'all got to be trolling, man.
Crews are searching for 2 U.S. soldiers who went missing during a training mission.
Happy with the gas prices.
Missing in North Africa on Sunday. Officials say there is no sign of terrorism. CBS News foreign correspondent Chris Livesay has a story.
Keep the votes coming in, y'all.
Well, our embed with the U.S. military started off as a training exercise, but has turned into a real-life rescue mission. Thousands of personnel are gathered here in the Moroccan desert to train on the latest in battlefield tech. Now, many of them are using it to try and save their fellow soldiers.
What happened?
Aircraft have been scouring the Moroccan coastline for the missing soldiers since Saturday night. Here, where the Saharan desert meets the Atlantic Ocean. According to defense officials, the soldiers were off duty, hiking, when they fell off a cliff and into the crashing waves.
Oh, dang.
This is the camp where those 2 service members went missing from. And now what started off as a training exercise has turned into a real-world operation for their brothers and sisters in arms to save them.
They're gone.
Our CBS News team and I were inside our tent Saturday night when suddenly officials called everyone to attention for a head count. Aircraft were soon circling overhead. They have yet to cease.
They're gone.
CBS News is here following the military for a large-scale.
They are not happy with them, just okay with it for a short time. I'd rather pay a little bit more now and not worry about my grandkids getting nuked by crazies. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. I understand that point. I understand that side. But shoot. What if they never got the nukes in the first place, man? What if that was never a thing? And they just really was just trying to, defend themselves. But let's continue.
Annual exercise known as African Lion. More than 7,000 personnel from over 30 nations, with a growing focus on artificial intelligence, autonomous systems, and drones.
Ronald said that's Trump's real red hat caps. Okay with the gas prices. That might be. Wait, what? That is Trump's real redhead caps. Okay with the gas prices. That might be Trump. I'm asleep.
Drones intended for the training ground are being deployed sooner.
I don't know anybody in real life that is happy with these gas prices. I don't care how confident they are in
experience for these young men and women.
in Trump.
We had just interviewed one of the young masterminds behind the display of this drone technology.
On the internet?
Little did we know that hours later, they'd be using it to search for his fellow soldiers. For CBS Mornings, I'm Chris Livesay in Tantan, Morocco.
It looks like these soldiers are gone. They're swept away. A shark probably got them already. If they find these 2 soldiers alive, they're blessed. Honestly, they're blessed. They got a gift. They're gods. Honestly, they're gods. I don't know why you would be in the first place walking on the side of a cliff. I don't know why. I get it. You're adventurous. You're a daredevil. I get it. Some people just got it in them. But the risk to reward is so far that there's really no point. There's no point of doing that. I don't care how good the view is. I don't care how confident you are. The risk to reward ratio on that is very, very high. And it's not worth it, man. RIP. Hopefully they find them, but I'm just going to say it. RIP to those soldiers, man.
Turning now to an alarming story that we're following about a deadly virus outbreak on a cruise ship docked in Cape Verde, South Africa. Officials say about 6 people are sick and at least 3 have now died. Investigators also believe it may have been a disease spread by rodents. For more on this, I want to bring in CBS News foreign correspondent
What
Rain
is going
Unisensio.
on out here in these
Rain,
streets?
explain to us what hantavirus is. How does it spread, and is it treatable?
Yes, Chanel. Rodents are known to be the main vector for hantavirus, and we don't even have to touch them really to get sick. We could just get sick by breathing in air that's around their droppings or their urine or from their saliva. That then causes fever,
nasty rats,
coughing, flu-like symptoms. But then if it gets worse, it can hit your heart, your lungs, and your kidneys, and as we were seeing, lead to death. The silver lining to this, though, is that one strain, there are 2, isn't known to spread from person to person. This is the one that killed the wife of actor Gene Hackman last year. But there is a second strain called the Andes virus, and this is found in South America. And this one is notable because that one can spread between people, and that's why everyone is watching what's happening now here on the MV Hondius there, because that cruise ship came from Argentina, came from South America about 3 weeks ago, now anchored off the coast of Cape Verde. This investigation going on. But as for treatment, Chanel, you asked, this is not treatable. Doctors basically treat the symptoms here, rest, fluids, but there is no cure. And from what experts are saying, about 1 in 3 people, 30 to 50% of the people who get hantavirus die.
Wow.
Wow.
So what is the World Health Organization and the UN saying about all this? Is there a concern that this could spread even further?
Sure. Well, right now, the WHO is taking a cautious approach, saying not to panic, that the risk to the public remains low, and that there is no need for travel restrictions at this point. This is coming from its regional director of Europe here, who also said that the WHO is working with countries for more investigations into this. But as we're seeing here,
don't come to the U.S. with this BS, please.
Outside of the harbor of the capital of Cape Verde, and as for trying to avoid hantavirus ourselves, I'm sure we're all trying to think, where could we get exposed? First thing, obviously, get rid of rodents if you see them. And then if you see rodent droppings, experts say don't sweep them up, don't vacuum them, because then if you do that, that could go into the air.
Trump does have nukes.
That's where things get difficult, and that's where it becomes potentially a threat on your life.
Okay, some good info to know there.
Listen, man, keep that stuff all the way over there. We don't need no more outbreaks. We don't need no more COVID. We don't need no more viruses. We all set over here. We're all set. We got enough rats in New York City. We don't need none of that. All right, keep that stuff over there, over in your seas, please. We don't want that. We don't need that stuff in the U.S., man. Crazy, bro. Crazy. Y'all be safe out here in these streets, man. Y'all be safe, man. New viruses happening, people falling off cliffs in Morocco. Like, man, a lot going on in the world, man. Really, a lot is going on in the world. But let me know y'all thoughts about this down in the comments below. I'd really like to know y'all thoughts, man. Thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate y'all viewership. Y'all already know, man. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button, too, if y'all are new. Hoop Knox says Trump is crazy. Some people do think Trump is crazy, man. Some people do. Some people do. I think Trump is tired. I think Trump needs a vacation. Damn, we going to be in trouble. Trump and Kennedy got rid of all the scientists. I'm asleep. Yo, that's a fact. That's a fact. We don't need no more COVID. Oh my goodness. We don't need that. Please keep the viruses away from us, man. We healthy over here. We are healthy. Y'all make sure y'all drink water, man, and stay safe, bro. Cause people dying out here in these streets. People is dying. Thank you guys for tuning in again, man. We got one more video we gonna get into. And this is about Strait of Hormuz again. Apparently, the U.S. says they have full control. Nobody believes it, but the government sure does. Let's tune into the video, see what's going on in the streets. A lot of people are voting. 72 of y'all said 79% of y'all said no, y'all are still not happy with these gas prices. And there's actually 21% of people that tuned into this video, to this live stream, that said they are happy with the gas prices. Wow. Wow. I mean, what do y'all do for work? How are y'all happy with the gas prices? Please, other than saying we're happy for a moment, please explain to us why there's 20% of people that are happy with these $5.50 gas prices. Because I've never seen, I don't know not one person, bro. I don't know not one person in real life, I'll keep saying it, that is happy paying over $40 in gas. I don't know not one person. I don't know not two people that are happy to pay more than $3.50 in gas. And that's more affordable. So besides Iran not getting their nukes, please explain to us why y'all are happy. I don't understand. Let's continue.
U.S. forces working to restore freedom of navigation.
Thank you for the likes. I appreciate y'all, man. Thank you so much.
Against Iran. President Trump warning Tehran any interference or attacks will be dealt with forcefully. Welcome to a brand new hour of America's Newsroom. I'm Dana Perino, and Bill Hemmer just
got enough rats in the White House, and he got
that was a good one.
Someone took it.
I haven't even left. Where could it possibly?
And we will not level accusations now, will we?
That's the president of the United States you're talking about.
Good morning. Fast-moving developments right now. U.S. ships resume sailing through the Strait. Project Freedom is now providing safe transit for commercial ships and their crews stranded in the Persian Gulf since the war began. CENTCOM announcing a pair of U.S. Navy guided missile destroyers have sailed into the Gulf, while 2 U.S. flagged merchant ships have safely sailed out.
So Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent was with us earlier, and he said the U.S. has absolute control of the key waterway, and it's time for our international partners to step up.
So we're delusional.
Trying to cut off international freedom of navigation through the Strait of Hormuz, and the U.S. is opening that up. The Iranians do not have control of the Strait. We have absolute control of the Strait. We have blockaded the ships going into or out of Iranian ports. Their economy is in free fall.
Delusion.
We are saying, for the good of the international community, let these ships out. And we are expecting our international partners to engage in the same thing. Now would be a good time for our international partners to step up and put pressure on Iran.
And
how you got control, but you still can't let ships go through? Like, are you talking to bots or are you talking to actual people? Who's believing this? Who is actually believing this? The man just said on live television, Iran does not have control of the Straits. America does. But it's time for our allies to step up and put pressure on Iran to let boats out of the Strait. You can't make this up. You can't make this up. I'm not a bot. Are y'all bots? Are y'all bots? Did y'all hear what he said, or am I bugging? Am I bugging? I'm not bugging, right? I can't be bugging, bro. I can't be bugging. I heard what he said. Matter of fact, let's play it back. Let's play it back.
And he said the U.S. has absolute control of the key waterway, and it's time for our international partners to step up.
They are trying to cut off international freedom of navigation through the Strait of Hormuz, and the U.S. is opening that up. The Iranians do not have control of the Strait. We have absolute control of the Strait. We have blockaded the ships going into or out of Iranian ports. Their economy is in free fall. We are saying, for the good of the international community, let these ships out. And we are expecting our international partners to engage in the same thing. Now would be a good time for our international partners to step up and put pressure on Iran.
And Fox.
Stupid. For all the bots in the chat and the bots watching at home, please let me understand what he meant there. Do we have control or do we not have control? I know majority of my viewers are not bots. I know that for sure. Clearly, y'all are not happy with the gas prices. 81% of y'all, not bots. Please let us know what he meant by that. How do we have control, but we don't have control? How do we have control, but we need other people to help out to get back control? It's either we got control or we don't. It ain't one or the other, or it's not both. We got control or we don't. And we don't have control. Everybody knows we don't got control. Not one U.S. ship can go in there and not get blown up. Stop lying. We don't like the lies. I don't even care. I voted for Trump. We don't like the lies, though. We don't like the lies. Stop lying to us. Stop lying to our faces, please. We are not stupid. We ain't bots. We are not bots, bro. Like, be 100% real with us, man. We ain't stupid.
Coverage. General Jack King joins us on set with analysis.
Let me know y'all
Brian
thoughts.
Yanis, he is back. Oh, he's still, I should say, in Israel, Tel Aviv, Israel. Good to see you this morning. Hi, Brian.
Dana, good morning. Well, just
Crazy.
breaking in the last few minutes, the United Arab Emirates is now
$4.50 a
accusing
gallon
Iran
in California.
of hitting with 2 drones striking an empty oil tanker as it made its way through the Strait of Hormuz. An attack again by 2 Iranian drones. At the same time, South Korea says it is
I
now
haven't seen
working to
$3
verify that one of its
$3 a
vessels
gallon for
was
15
also
years in
attacked
California?
by Iran. Now, this comes as Iran is
Wild
warning the United
behavior.
States not to interfere in the Strait of Hormuz or else.
It's
Take a look at this
probably
statement
so
from
bad over
Iran's
there right
head
now.
of the military of their united forces. It says, quote, "We warn that any foreign armed forces, especially the aggressive U.S. Army, will be attacked if they intend to approach and enter the Strait of Hormuz." CENTCOM this morning denied an Iranian state media report claiming that Iran hit a U.S. warship with 2 missiles attempting to pass through the strait. CENTCOM says, quote, "No U.S. Navy ships have been struck."
Wow.
Yesterday, an oil tanker was attacked in the Strait of Hormuz, hit by unknown projectiles north of the UAE. Just before that, a cargo ship was attacked by multiple small boats near the coast of Iran. There have been more than 24 attacks in the strait since the war began. Now, President Trump launched Project Freedom this morning, the humanitarian effort to safely guide some 800 cargo ship tankers and 20,000 crew members that are stranded out of the strait. The U.S. has established an enhanced security area south of the strait's usual traffic area along Oman's territorial waters, and so far 2 U.S.-flagged merchant ships have successfully gotten out. Now, the Wall Street Journal says U.S. naval ships are not escorting ships out of the strait, but CENTCOM says guided missile destroyers, 100+ land and sea-based aircraft, and 15,000 service members are supporting this mission. Now, one of the world's largest international shipping organizations, BIMCO.
2 destroyed entering the Gulf, and only 2 made it out. But y'all got control of the straits. Stop with the BS, please. We're not bots. We can see what's going on. Stop it. Y'all don't got control. Not yet. Y'all may get it eventually. But right now, y'all still ain't got control. Y'all still trying to figure it out. That's what we need to hear. We need to hear the truth. We figuring it out. We getting it under control. We might have a mishap here, but we figuring it out. That's at least we can understand. All right, they trying to figure something out here. They trying to do this. They trying to do that. They trying to make a way here. Blah 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 blah. But all we're hearing is just talking. Yeah, we're doing this. We're blowing them up. They're dismantled. They have no military. They have no navy. Everything's underwater. But yet the Strait of Hormuz got everybody in a chokehold. Stop with the BS. Let's be real, man.
Is expressing
Come on.
uncertainty and concern. BIMCO tells Fox that
Trump
no
opened up a can of worms and threw the lid away.
Project Freedom
Facts.
has been sent to the shipping
Facts.
industry, adding, quote, without consent from Iran
I agree
to
with
let
that one,
commercial
100%,
ships transit
Curtis.
safely through the Strait of Hormuz. It is currently not clear whether the Iranian threat to ships can be degraded or suppressed. Now, the question now is, Dana, whether Iran will continue its attacks and whether or not that will violate the ceasefire and potentially restart military action. Dana?
All right, Brian, thank you for that update. Bill?
Okay, so Dana, over here on the map, we'll let you know, bring you up to speed a little bit about what Brian
Iran
was
has
reporting
control.
in the past
I mean,
24
U.S.
hours.
has control of
Remember
the
here, this
Straits.
is Pakistan and this is Oman.
But we still
This
need
is
our
where the
partners
US
to
Navy has set up what
get
has
control
been
of the
a very
Straits.
successful blockade for ships that are trying to do business with Iranian ports now. If you visit an Iranian port, the U.S. Navy is going to be watching you very, very carefully. So what Brian was describing right there up here is that this is an island here in Iran, and one of these vessels hit by small crafts, and around the same time you had this tanker that was reported hit by unknown projectiles. What that means, where they came from, how serious they were, we're still waiting for some sort of damage assessment on that. But this particular craft right here, it was bound for the Strait of Hormuz, came under attack in the reverse field, and we believe right now it's being held there.
Okay, I had a feeling
it's being stopped
that's
in Oman. We talk a lot about the Gulf of the Strait of Hormuz. At its narrowest point, it is 20 miles wide, but some of these waters are very shallow. So in essence, they have two major shipping lanes, okay? One's about 2 miles wide coming in, another one about 2 miles wide going out. And that is the principal shipping lanes that many have used for really decades right now.
Of the Straits, man.
Be sure to like and subscribe.
They do not have no control. As soon as they get to around right here, this area right here, they going underwater. They going underwater, or they gonna turn right back around. They don't have no control. Scott Bessent, I like what you're doing, if I'm being honest, but you're delusional. You're absolutely delusional for getting up here live television and telling the world that the U.S. has control of the Straits. It's absolute delusion. And you're talking to people that have common sense, people that have a brain, and people that can think for themselves. And for all those other people that can't think for themselves, that, you know, just agree with what you got going on and what the Trump administration got going on, I applaud you for having those people back you up. I really do. But you got some real ones that could read through all this nonsense y'all talking about. Whether we support you or not. Whether we support you or not. You can't lie to the people and get away with it. You cannot do that. Let me know y'all thoughts about this down in the comments below, man. I really like to know y'all thoughts. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I really do appreciate y'all viewership, man. Trump is full of shit, says Lefty. With $6 a gallon diesel prices for my truck, I beg to differ. Trump is absolutely full of shit. There's a lot of Trump is full of shit in the comments. You guys know me. If y'all been here before, y'all know I don't like to cuss. But Robin said, name one single politician that ain't full of shit. He's got a point. He's got a point. Every politician we know and have come across has some type of shit going on with them too. He ain't lying about that. Can you please everybody? Absolutely not. But the best thing you can at least do is be honest to the people. Try to be as honest as possible. And that's just one thing that I've noticed is really lacking with this administration. There's not a lot of honesty. There's not a lot of truth. There's a lot of weaving. He's the great weaver. He called himself the great weaver. It's a lot of it. It's a lot of it. But if we're being honest, a lot of us can tell when he's weaving. A lot of us can tell when he's capping, when he's lying. And you know, we're not all bots. We're not all MAGAs. We're not all MAGA supporters. We're not all straight Make America Great Again people. Some of us are just everyday people, just trying to make a living, trying to make money for their families, trying to make a life for their future, trying to get a house, trying to get, a family, all that stuff. People are just regular Americans. And these people have common sense. And what you can't do is keep playing with the people, especially those ones that voted for you. Because, the pendulum can swift. It can shift back anytime. And what we don't want is a fully democratic pendulum again. Because, oh God, we know how that ended up being. That's why I'm just like, come on, y'all, man. Stop with the cap, bro. Stop lying to the people, bro. Stop with the bluffing. Stop with the false narratives. Just be honest. I'd rather y'all be honest. We could take it and we could swallow that pill and we could deal with it that way. But once y'all start getting up there and lying to the people in front of millions of people, talking about the U.S. runs the Strait of Hormuz now. But we need our allies to help run the Strait of Hormuz. Just stop it, bro. Stop it. Senator Kelly of AZ is very honest. I got to check into her. I'm not sure who that is. I'm not from Arizona. Honest people can't handle the truth. Oh, honestly, people can't handle the truth. Man, the real ones can handle the truth. It might hurt. It might hurt a lot, but the real ones can handle the truth. And that's all we need right now. We need the truth. We need the real ones. We need the real ones. We need the real ones, bro. You know what I mean? We don't need the phonies. We had phonies. We had phonies for the past 4 years. We don't need that no more. We don't need that. These comments are wild. Kelly was untruthful about his record on border security and supporting law enforcement. Ooh. Okay. Robin, you have no idea what in the hell you were saying. I'm asleep. I like it when y'all communicate with each other, man. It makes the show a better show, for real. I really do appreciate y'all for tuning in, man. Unfortunately, I have to get on out of here. It's been a beautiful show. I have a few things to do at 2:00. I have to go and get some business done. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate y'all for real for tuning in. If you guys are new here, again, man, hit that like button and hit that subscribe button, man. We be going live very often, at least once or twice a week. We post daily, whether it's clips, whether it's short films, whether it's just day in the lives. Y'all will get to know me the more you guys watch me. And I do really appreciate you guys for tuning in because, I could be up here talking to myself sometimes and, it sometimes it does get a little boring. Sometimes it does get a little lonely. But, when you guys tune in and chat and, give your feedback, it really does make the show a better show. And I really do appreciate y'all, man. 121 people voted. There is seeming to be, I don't want to say delusional, but there seems to be 18% of people that watch this show today that are okay with paying high amounts in gas prices. Whether it's for the sake of the United States in the future, which, you can argue that, or whether they just got money like that. You know, I don't know. Everybody has their opinions and everybody has their thoughts on why they would say yes to it. But the majority of people, 81% of you guys say y'all are not okay with these gas prices. And I fully agree with you. But thank you guys again, man. I really do appreciate y'all. We're going to end that poll. Y'all did y'all thing today, man. I hope y'all enjoyed this show. Until next time, man, be great out there in these streets. Y'all can do anything y'all put your mind to. World is yours. The world is yours. The world is yours. Everything you want in life you can get, you can achieve if you put your mind to it. That's my message that I'm leaving with y'all today. I wish you guys nothing but the best. And until next time, it's your boy Dgotsauce, man. One love. Peace.